Hello guys, Turbo Veltrick here back from another video, and today I have another Beyblade vs. Turbo episode review. Today we have episode 18, Ghost Ship, Adventure on the High Seas. So this video will have spoilers on the episode, which most of you probably have seen this episode since it came out in March in America. But anyways, if you guys have not seen the episode and you don't like spoilers, I recommend clicking off the video. If you guys either haven't seen it and you don't care for spoilers, or you have seen the episode, you can stay. But if you really want to watch the episode and you haven't seen it, you can find it on Disney Now in America. If you live in America, Teletoon On Demand in Canada, and you can still find it on the official Beyblade Burst channel on YouTube. If you live in every other English country except for America and Canada, and you can use a VPN if you live in America and Canada or any other place that you can't find it on. But yeah, so let's get into this review. So the episode starts off with a welcome to the world of Beyblade. Right after that, we get into a scene where we see Ranjiro and Tabisuke. Tabisuke starts yodeling, and then right after we see Laban, and then we see Iger, Naru, and Heijin relaxing. Laban decides to do one of his fortunes, and he notices something odd about the waves, and then we see a fog right after, and then we see a ghost ship, and then right after that we see Kyle Hakim, which we'll get into Kyle later into this episode. But anyways, we see Kyle on the ghost ship, and then we get into the opening and the title card. Right after the title card, everyone gets on the ghost ship, and then they talk about the Dark Betty, and then how everyone has to get to the other side and get through all the traps in the ship, and so everyone has to get to it within an hour. If you don't get into this within an hour, you don't get the base star. But if you do, and then the final person, if you get in it, the final people will battle for the base star, and the winner will get the base star. But anyways. So everyone has to go through all of everything in there, and Tabisuke notices a ghost, hears someone talking. But anyways, right after that, Naru and Tabisuke, they want to go back to the Bay Cruiser, but the Bay Cruiser disappears. And then right after that, Iger and Naru goes into one hall, and Iger catches up to Xavier. And then they see a skeleton, and then Naru sees a skeleton. The skeleton starts to fall on her. Xavier punches it out of the way and saves Naru. And then that's when they found out there was traps on the ship. Right after this, a trapdoor opens, and Xavier sacrifices the chance to get the base star to save Naru. Anyways, so we see Kyle. He logged that onto his phone. Right after that, we see Suo and Heijin. They encounter each other where they have to get into launch into this one thing. And the person who has the first bay to get into the indent, they win, and then the loser gets taken off the ship. The trapdoor will trigger on them. Anyways, so right after that we see Ranjiro and Tabisuke and Gumita. They come across Iger and Naru, and Ranjiro gets nervous for a second. Right after that we get back into Heijin and Suo, where they launch into the stadium. And they both, when Hercules and Salamander, they both clash, but then burst right after. And then, so they're both taking off the ship. And then right after that, Kyle logs that in. Now everyone else, they're trying to get to, well, right after that, we see Iger, Naru, Ranjiro, Yumina, and Tabisuke. Naru tells them that there is a ghost on the ship. And anyways, Tabisuke, he gets nervous. Ranjiro, he doesn't believe it. Anyways, we get to Laban, where he goes to the Wheel of Fate, where you can, if you get onto a good mark, it will take you to the finish line, and then if you get a bad mark, the trapdoor will open and it will remove you from the ship. Anyways, so Laban, he does the Shadow Fortune, and he knows it's going to be good. Anyways, he believes it's going to be good, and anyways, he gets into it. It starts off on a good mark, but then the wheel continues right after. And then he gets onto a bad mark, and the trapdoor opens, and he gets sent off. And then he notices something wasn't right, and then he remembers about the fortune from earlier, and about something being odd before the opening. And then he notices the fortune was true, and then now he's gone. So now we get to Kyle, where he logs the information about Laban on his phone. Right after that, we get back to Iger and Ranjiro. A bookshelf ends up falling on Ranjiro and Tabisuke, and then they notice Kyle coming, which they think he's a ghost. Anyways, they get away from Kyle, But then Kyle comes in and he wants to battle Ranjiro. Iger, he wants to butts in and decides he wants to battle Kyle instead. But anyways, a trapdoor opens on Iger and he gets removed. So then they decide they're going to battle, and then right after this we see Iger. Since he didn't land into the water. Well, wait. So Kyle, he ended up introducing his hazard Kerbeus to Ranjiro. Anyways, right after this, we see Iger. He doesn't land in the water though, so he's still hanging on to the ship by his teeth. So since he didn't hit the water, he's still in the game. So anyways, goes to the finishing course automatically, and so Iger. Now we get back to Ranjiro and Kyle. So they launch into the stadium. One of them, Kerbeus is using chain protection, which it's where the springs the opposing bay will hit the springs of Kerbeus, which will protect. Chain protection protects Kerbeus, but if you hit it on its weak spot, it will weaken Kerbeus. And so Rockjaw ends up keeps hitting the chains on Kerbeus, and then Ranjiro gets heated up and uses Hurricane Counter, and then they both get into their avatar attacks, Kerbeus and Rockjaw, and Kerbeus wins with a Survivor finish. And then the trapdoor triggers on Ranjiro, but Ranjiro doesn't follow through. He catches himself, and then we get back to Kyle after he leaves the room, and he's walking up some stairs. But the stairs it starts out, becomes a trap, and they turn into a slide. Kyle uses the walls of the room of the hallway, and then right after we see Fi. Anyways, we get to Iger where he gets to the finishing point, where he meets Kyle again, and he also sees Fi. And then the time runs out, and Ranjiro comes in right after, and he doesn't get the base star. Anyway, so now it's going to be a battle for the base star. It's going to be a battle against Fi, Kyle, and Iger. But Fi decides he doesn't want to join the battle. Anyways, right after this, it's Kyle versus Iger, and so, anyways, they launch into the stadium. Iger pulls out Z launch, and Kerbeus is using chain protection, where it's still hitting the chains. It keeps hitting the chains, and so it goes to Kerbeus with the Survivor finish. And so right after this, Iger comes up with a plan. We get into the second round, and then so Iger keeps hitting the rails of going on the rails of the Turtle Stadium, and is hitting the main part of Kerbeus, and is weakening Kerbeus. Right after this, we get into both Achilles and Kerbeus' avatar attacks, and then right after this, both of their stamina is running out, and then they get into their avatar attacks. Iger uses Z-Breaker and bursts Kerbeus with Z-Breaker. And right after that, we get into Iger. He gets the base star. Kyle walks off, and then right after this, everyone's leaving back to go back onto the Bay Cruiser. And so, anyways, right after that, when Ranjiro, Gumita, and Tubisuke are getting back on the Bay Cruiser, they see the Ghost Kid, and Ranjiro and Tubisuke they faint, and Gumita is still up. But anyways, right after that, we see Kyle. He's logging all the information. He's sending it all to someone. We do not know who it is at the moment in the episode, but we'll find out later in the season. And then right after that, it ends off the episode. If you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like, please subscribe, please follow me on social media, which links will be in the description below. And next time we'll be doing Super Rumble Biathlon episode 19. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys later.